So I was doom scrolling through YouTube looking at all the armchair economists pontificating about the end of the world, even though their knowledge of the stock market begins and ends with the one time they watched The Big Short.
Okay. Sell it all.
But right before I chucked my phone through a second story window and gave up on humanity, I saw DC released a new trailer for the new Superman movie, so I figured I'd give it a watch. And honestly, I kind of enjoyed it. Yeah, I have my reservations, but honestly, my life won't be made or ruined by yet another bad superhero movie, so who cares? At least I got a good chuckle out of this one. The trailer starts off with Superman crash landing in the Arctic, and oh no, he's bleeding badly. I actually already like the look of the costume so far. It's more colorful like the original Superman was, and gives me a more optimistic feeling rather than the super emo man and his dark blue onesie. I don't blame you, Henry. You just had to do what the madman told you to. Superman whistles, and suddenly here comes... Wait, Superman has a dog? And the dog has a cape. Alright, yeah, that's kinda cute. Alright, so I have read exactly 0 Superman comics, so I had no idea this good boy even existed, but his name is Krypto, and yes, he is a good boy. Maybe even a super good boy. You know, cause Superman? Whatever. Krypto drags Superman back to the Fortress of Solitude by, choking him to death? I mean, he's pulling Superman by the cape that's tied around his neck. Even if the guy is Superman, the G-forces alone would crush his esophagus, right?
You can't eat. You'll starve to death.
Back at the Fortress of Solitude, a bunch of robots come to Superman's aid, and like any decent guy who wants to get on the right side of AI before it takes over the world, he thanks them. Don't lie, you do the same thing for the exact same reason. The robot tells Superman not to thank them though, because they can't feel anything. Even though he clearly sounds worried when he first sees Superman, and then the female robot giggles because he looks at her.
He looked at me. He looked at me.
Okay. They put Superman on a stretcher and heal him by putting him in front of a magnifying glass with the sun shining on him. I mean, I'm not sure Dr. Fauci would approve, but okay.
I represent science.
Then Superman screams in pain as the vitamin D courses through his veins, and the rest of the trailer is a bunch of jump cuts that I won't waste time analyzing. So what's the verdict? Well, I'm cautiously optimistic. I think it says a lot about us as a society that we couldn't get a good Superman movie for the last 47 years, and frankly, I'm not sure why that would change now, given Hollywood has decided to adopt nihilistic hedonism as the philosophical foundation for its worldview. But sure, have another go at Superman, I guess. What the heck? What could possibly go wrong? Sure, there are questionable parts. Like, why are we going with another scrawny, nerdy tech bro looking dude as Lex Luthor? Growing up with the Superman cartoons, I always thought that Lex Luthor was supposed to be a large, imposing bad guy, not Mark Zuckerberg. But hey, Nicholas Hoult is a phenomenal actor, so who knows? Also, I saw some hate online for the electric guitar cover of the classic Superman theme. I would personally crank that to 11, and the noise complaint plus subsequent eviction from my apartment would totally be worth it. Well, to me. To my wife? The main reason I'd be concerned about James Gunn's take on Superman more so has to do with his sense of humor. His extremely specific sense of humor. I really liked the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, but Volume 3 definitely showed what can happen when James Gunn isn't given some guardrails to work within. He tends to be overly indulgent in themes that have nothing to do with the main plot and really doesn't know when to end a joke. Seriously, I think Cosmo is still complaining about being called a bad dog. The dog's name was Cosmo, right? Whatever.
For one thing, even Mutak Soviets never do, is call me bad dog.
Oh my god, you just let it go.
Amazingly enough, this is not the first time I've said this, but the duck is right. But that said, it's not like James Gunn is an idiot. He's a talented filmmaker who, under the right circumstances, can deliver a heartwarming, funny, even poignant story. He just needs the right set of characters to work with and a studio as desperate as Warner Brothers to put guardrails in place to keep him in check. Although, Warner Brothers might be too desperate. This movie's gonna suck, isn't it? Alright, I'm done. I'll see you in the next video or whatever. Bye.